Okay, good afternoon to Ben Alder, the fan designer behind the latest LEGO Ideas release coming up. Well, audio release if you're watching this video now, the Winnie the Pooh set. So, hello Ben, welcome, and thank you for talking to us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, excited to be here. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
All right, thank you for agreeing to it. So, let's start off with, I want to know a bit of your background. So, did you have a dark age? Did you enjoy Lego as a kid? What brought you out of your dark age if you had one?
Yeah, I think probably as most of the people, of you guys, I remember many hours as a child building little models, sitting with my parents. They would sit and find parts for me, and yeah, many hours of buying sets with your pocket money, but then making your own models. And I think that carried on sort of right through my teens, and then unfortunately, sort of Lego took a back step in my life, and then sort of schooling, things like that. But then about 6-7 years ago, I had a little one, and my whole love of Lego came back. Obviously with Duplo and Lego, and now I sit with my children, scrapping for them same parts that my parents used to have to find me, building models, and so yeah, and then our love of Lego as a family has just sort of like grown, and yeah, slowly we've sort of all developed the love of Lego, and even got my wife into it. So yeah, so it's something we share as a family, really. So yeah, I'm really passionate about it. It's good.
Better than it just being your passion, the fact that it's passion you share with your whole family. And it is one of those extra joys of having children when they can bring a love of something else, not just them, into it. So absolutely fabulous. It must be so pleasing to have this amazing hobby that you can share with the whole family. I mean, yeah, fabulous. I suppose I should say congratulations. Like, this is an amazing feat. Not many apples in the UK can say that they've got a set on the shelves of the Lego store. Like, this is absolutely amazing. So well done, Ben. So first question about the build: why Winnie the Pooh? What made you think, oh, you know what, I'll go for Winnie the Pooh?
It's solely down really to my children and my family. It was literally down to the fact that I like creating Lego models, and it's nice to have a bit of a challenge of what to build, how to design stuff, etc. And my kids and my wife, and I do as well, love Winnie the Pooh, and that's not something that obviously Lego have ever made, and there's nothing like it. So I wanted to make a set for children, really, to be fair. So started designing it with the sole intention that it would be something that would be played with in the living room with my children, and it was a bit of a challenge for myself and to build. So yeah, so it was really designed for my children, and then all of a sudden, after spending many hours on like Brickworks Studio, designing, creating, etc., I shared it with a couple of people. They were like, "Oh, pop it on Lego Ideas as well." So it's like, "Ah, okay, I'll pop it on there as well." Waiting for the parts to arrive, and then all of a sudden, it's like, "Whoa, what happened there?" It's like 2,000 votes within a few weeks. So yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant. The fact that you designed this not with ideas in mind, just to play with your children with, makes it even better, because it wasn't its designed intention.
Yeah.
It's an additional extra that must be the biggest cherry on top of the
Yeah.
nicest cake ever.
100%, because I've submitted things to Ideas before, and nothing's ever sort of really took off like this did. And so for the one thing that I submitted to Ideas with really not the intention of having it go the whole way, is yeah, it's blown away. You can, yeah, it's unreal.
Amazing. Now we can see obviously on screen your original build there, which is incredible, and I think it's a tribute to you that the actual finished design looks so similar. But a key difference that we can see there definitely are the minifigures, the characters. Now you've got an amazing brick-built Eeyore and a brick-built Tigger there. At what point in the process did you realise, or did someone come to you and say, "Oh, by the way, Ben, we're getting loads of new molds for this set"? Like, how early on was that, and how did you feel about it?
Really early, to be honest. Like one of our first few meetings, this was sort of spoke about, and they sort of announced that they were going to be making new molds, and over the moon, to be fair. That's the one that I struggled with when I was making the set. It's hard to make like minifigures out of bricks, but to keep them to the same size. Because like to make Tigger and to make Eeyore, to keep them small but detailed out of bricks is a really is a challenge. And obviously that's not quite as playable as a sort of molded minifigure is, because the parts do fall apart on them. So yeah, that was one struggle when the kids do play with it, and it's not quite as true to the sort of Winnie the Pooh without having the molded parts. So yeah, really early on actually, that was discussed quite early, and I was blown away, to be fair, when they were talking about all the molded parts they were going to do. I never expected that. You always kind of deep down hope when you sort of get through that perhaps they will make a molded part or two, but I didn't expect them to do the whole lot.
But at least you depend on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as well, along the same theme, at what point did somebody choose to swap out Owl for Rabbit?
That's a bit of a difficult one in regards to it. It's the problem is there's a limited of how much you can do in regards to any sort of set that Lego develop. And I think that Rabbit's sort of more playable in regards to the set that we had, and Rabbit was one of my original sort of lineup. Yeah, we didn't discuss Owl as much. I think they just sort of took the minifigures that I'd done and sort of developed them with that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. So go on, we'll go for. Well, a lot of this has happened. So the timeline of doing this from your ideas passing review to now, a whole lot of that time has been part of the global pandemic. Yeah. How much have you managed to go across to Billund, or has all your work been sort of on video calls with Billund? What's happened with you and the designers there?
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go over at all. Yeah, it's all been sort of video calls, numerous video calls involving you with different people. Yeah, regularly chatting to Lego on the video calls, which is obviously a shame in regards to the global issues that are going on at the moment. But yeah, they've still involved me in everything. But it's just been a shame that I haven't been able to meet them and sort of go in person, which obviously would have been lovely. But it's one of them things, isn't it? So it's yeah.
Sure, you'll get the opportunity when we get a bit more back to normal, and they'll welcome you with open arms. It'll be really incredible to go over there and meet them all face to face.
Yeah, definitely, because you become sort of like friends with the designers and sort of on first name terms and sort of chatting to them about your ideas and things like that. So it's nice to have sort of built up that relationship. But yeah, it's unfortunate that I just haven't been able to sort of see them in person. But a lot of people have had to make sacrifices, so it's just one of them things at the moment.
Yeah, it is. I suppose you're looking at it and taking other things into perspective, then yeah, it completely makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A question then we've had from another one of our members. While working on this and working with the designers, what did a day in the life of Ben look like when you were working with the designers, etc.?
So in regards to things, what would happen is, sorry, do you mean like what would happen is normally you'd get regular conference calls. So we'd have sort of different meeting calls with different people, the different designers that were involved. Sometimes you'd be talking to like the set designer. Sometimes you might be talking to the minifigure designer, and then you discuss sort of different elements really. Sometimes you'd talk about, for example, one meeting we were talking quite a bit about what the minifigures would hold, the little accessories, what they would have, what things are important to me in the set, what would I like from the set, issues that I had with the set. Yeah, so it was really, each meeting was about sort of something slightly different. Sometimes it'd be the packaging, sometimes it might be they discuss instructions, and then yeah, so yeah.
That leads me on quite nicely into another question. You mentioned packaging there. When you started this process, Ideas was its own sort of Lego brand, its own Lego theme, and now it's sort of come under the over 18s bracket or umbrella, if you like. How do you feel about Winnie the Pooh being sort of adults only aimed at? I know that it won't end up being just adults, but how do you feel about it being marketed towards adults?
To me, that doesn't bother me too much. Several people have actually asked me this in regards to it. Or why is it over 18 when you're going to be playing with your children with it, etc. But I think it's the case that the set's certainly been designed so that it's a display piece, but it's also playable as well. So for me, the 18 for me indicates that it is more of an involved build. So it has got some sort of nice features in it. It's not a very easy set to build that it's sort of aimed at a 5-year-old to build, but it's something that for me, I think is for the whole family. It's definitely something that I'm going to be enjoying with my children. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people have made comment about that on social media and various places, but I certainly don't think the case is that. I think it's the case that they've tried to market it to everyone.
Fabulous answer. Thank you for that. You've hit on social media there, and I must say I've noticed across the social media chats and in the groups, raffles, etc. Over quite a few of the recent idea sets, there's been a lot of discussion about how far away they were from the original fan designers' builds and how they much preferred the originals and everything else. But I think you've done an amazing thing here in that the majority, the vast majority of the comments I'm seeing about this set are overwhelmingly positive. That must give you even more of a sense of pride. How do you react to people being so positive about your build?
I was really nervous waiting for obviously the announcements to come, and when the images were going to come out. It's always that sort of nervous wait, isn't it? Because people can be very critical in regards to sets, and
they can.
And very sort of personal in regards to comments that people can make about designs, etc. So it's that very nervous wait, and I'm blown away, absolutely blown away with how lovely people have been about it. Yeah, genuinely blown away. Yes, I think it's just unreal, because obviously this is my little dream, our little family dream, and this set is evolved into our dream, if that makes sense. And for so many people to see that dream as well and become their dream from what people are telling me is yeah, absolutely blown away from it. It's just unreal.
It's got to be amazing. I'm so happy for you, so proud of you. Like, well done, Ben. Well done. It's absolutely brilliant. So we know that the vast majority of people we've seen commenting online are happy with this final build. Are you happy with the final model that they've released?
100%. Yeah, it's such an improvement. It's taken the love, I feel it's taken the love of what I built from my set and taken it to that next level of made it into something very, very special. So yeah, I'm over the moon with it, from everything from the design to the figures to how it opens to all the little features inside and the special features. Yeah, blown away. The designers that I worked with are amazing. Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing to hear. Go on, I'm going to ask it anyway. Is there anything about the final set that you would change?
No. I love it. And the Lego designers, when I worked with Lego, they gave me options to say anything that if I wasn't happy with something, etc., then I could have sort of said to them, and they were very open with me. Is there anything you want to say at the end, sort of thing, changes, etc., before obviously the green light was pushed? So no, I'm really happy with it. Really, really happy.
That's brilliant. That's the best answer you could have given, I think. There, that's amazing. Well done. Go on then. While we're on the positive, what has been the highlight of this process for you?
I think the best bit about it is, I don't know if you've seen, there's a tiny tile, a stickered tile, which has got two little bees in it, and the trail of the two little bees spell out the initials J and E, and my children Joshua and Elsie, so that's their initials. And I think that's the highlight of it all, is having them as part of the whole process, and they've helped me throughout the whole way, and to have them in the final sort of set and to be on the shelves, etc., and to have them part of Lego forevermore, is, I think that's the sort of number one thing of it, I think. So
That is a brilliant number one thing. There are other personal bits in there as well. There's a few little Easter eggs. Is there any you'd like to point out to people at home?
yeah, so obviously you've got the tile, which has got their initials on. Their initials, if you look on the box very closely on the sort of the black background, you can see some sort of sketch artwork, and that's got the B with the trail of the J and the E as well, just right in the background. There's also in the book, as you open up the little story book, because it's something that sort of inspired me, where we read the Winnie the Pooh stories to my children. If you open the little book that's on the bed, in there has got Ben A in the book, so like by Ben A, which is a nice little addition. The Pooh sticks, which are on there, there's something that I love playing with my children. So every time we go over a bridge, we have to chuck a stick in and watch the stick go under the bridge. So yeah, that's something very dear to our heart. And the curtains, the colour of the curtains, and the chair is one of my wife's favourite Lego colours. So it's a little bit.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
So lovely to get so many references to you and your family into the build that was made for you and your family originally. It's just come full circle. That's incredible. Love it. Well done on that. How long? Some more questions. Sorry from our members. How long did your original build take to build? How long did you spend on that?
Designing it on sort of digital software, I was playing around with it for about a month, I'd say. And then it slowly evolved from that. The sort of original design sort of slowly changed as the bricks come through. It's very different, as you probably know, when you digitally create something to when you physically build it out of bricks. Things slightly change. And then I had to play about with the figures quite a bit to try and get Winnie the Pooh coloured. Because obviously there isn't a part which looks like him. So many hours in the kitchen with plastic dye, heating it up to try and make the colour of it, and dyeing the saucepans to my wife's dismay. So yeah,
Very understanding.
yeah, it evolved over a few months, to be fair. Yeah.
And then similarly, how long has in fact, before I ask you that, when did you find out that your idea was going to be created into a Lego idea? Was it before the official announcement, or did you find out when everybody else did?
No, I got told before the official announcement in regards to mine, but I don't know if that's always the process. I think sometimes people don't find out, sometimes people do. So yeah, I found out a little while before, and so that was extremely hard to keep that quiet. Yeah.
How long was that? We were talking hours, days, weeks?
I think it was a few weeks, a couple of weeks or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a
Very
little
difficult
while.
to keep on doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well done for keeping quiet on that. That's very good.
It's extremely hard. Yeah, when you've got the most exciting bit of news in your life, and you're not allowed to tell anyone. So.
Oh, I bet. Go on then. How long then from the Lego Ideas team that you'll be made was it until you saw the final model? How long have they been working on it with you?
Well, it's very quickly. So in regards to things, so you hear from Lego very quickly after the announcement, and then I'm just trying to think now. Gosh, trying to think back now. It's a few months ago when I saw the box. So yeah, probably a couple of months ago when I saw the box. And then prior to that is probably a couple of months before that. I'm struggling to remember a little bit, but yeah. So probably
everything becomes a blur when it's something so exciting.
It does. Yeah, I know it seemed like quite a long wait from the sort of process of where you see the final set, because once it's sort of the final decisions are made, that's sort of really the end of what I can be involved in. Then it's a waiting game, isn't it, while it is produced and waiting for announcement. So yeah.
Okay, a bit of a different question. Do you have any tips? Now, I know that your Lego Ideas project that's successful one, you didn't build with the intentional ideas, but are there any tips you could give AFOLs out there on making ideas submissions?
I think the biggest thing is when you have made your creation is the photograph, is that front image photograph. That's really the key, is to get a good clear photo. Because I think a number of people scroll through the Lego Ideas page and will just look at the photos, and if there's a photo that wows them, then that's when they'll click on it. So yeah, it's really key the photos are. And
that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of luck with different people picking it up, different people sharing it. Yeah, and I think it's just make what you enjoy, and you never know, it might happen.
I think that's the best thing that you could say, really, isn't it? Because yeah, if you're doing it for fun and then you get this as that icing on the cake,
Yeah.
amazing. If you've put all your eggs in the basket of I only want to build this for ideas, and then you're not lucky enough or skilled enough, or however we want to put it, to get to that 10,000 votes, or if you do, you know, really get through the review or whatever else, you've lost nothing.
Yeah.
If you're for fun.
Yeah, totally. You've still got the
yeah.
set you made for yourself or your family or whatever you made that set for, even though it hasn't got through. So yeah, I never ever thought that I'd be sitting here talking to you guys sort of 2 years ago when I was making it.
Amazing. It's still, I can't get over how incredible a feat it is. Like, well done, well done. I've got another question now from one of our members, and I think if I make this a bit longer, out of all the characters in Winnie the Pooh, the easiest one that Lego could have created would have been Christopher Robin. We'd need no new molds. We could use quite a generic face piece and quite generic clothing. How come Christopher Robin didn't make it into the set, do you think?
How I see it in regards to things is my original creation didn't have Christopher Robin in it. So the original submission that I sent to Lego Ideas didn't have Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin was added at a later stage. So they've tried to keep it as true to my original creation as possible, to be fair, in regards to things. Also, this is not something that I've sort of spoke with Lego about, but how I see it is Christopher Robin would need to be slightly bigger as well. In regards to things. So if you then make Christopher Robin slightly bigger, then obviously where are you going to sit with the mouldings? Do you put the longer legs of, is it Woody's? I think Woody's got some slightly longer legs, but then would that look in proportion? And you're creating a lot of issues there with sort of size and scale.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense, because of course Winnie the Pooh is Christopher Robin's teddy bear, so he's going to be at least half the size. And we can't have a Christopher Robin big fig in the style of the Hulk or Giant Man. It just wouldn't look right, would it?
Yeah, so then you're talking about another mould again, aren't you? So it's not that quick, easy win, is it? Of just sort of different in regards to it. And hopefully if people want Christopher Robin, that's something that they can easily create within their own sort of Lego parts.
That's a lovely way of looking at it. Trying to say, I can't think of what question I was going to ask now. Sorry, Ben. Ooh, if you could do anything different in the process, if you could go back and do it again, is there anything that you do differently?
No, to be fair. It's been a dream, an absolute dream. Yeah, I don't think so. I've loved every single part of it, and the last week I've been absolutely blown away with messages and tags and people sharing and that. So no, from start to finish, it's just been a dream. It's
That's so lovely to hear. That's brilliant. I must say, I cannot wait to be able to purchase this set on day one. It's beautiful, and ever since being a kid, I loved Winnie the Pooh as a kid, so it's a day one for me, and I'm sure it's going to be for many people. So well done on such an incredible project, and getting your set on the shelves. Like, it's going to be such a strange feat to a shop. and seeing something you've designed on a shelf, that's going to be amazing. Well done, man. Well done.
Yeah, my little boy's very excited to be going to the shop to go and see the set on the shelf. He's yeah, extremely excited about it. It's yeah, a little dream he's had the whole through. So yeah, it's unreal.
That's amazing. Well done again, and thank you for your time. And yeah, we hope to see you maybe at a Lego show one day if the world gets back to normal. Brilliant talking to you, Ben, and fantastically well.
Lovely. All right, cheers, mate. Thank you. Cheers.
Is there anything you'd like to add that I've not asked you about?
No, I don't think so. I think we've just about covered it all, and I'm sure that some of you guys might have supported it or sort of voted for it in the initial stages, and I can't thank everyone enough, really, because without people clicking on there and voting, it never would have happened. So yeah, and the support that everyone's given is just been amazing. You guys have made my dream come true.
Thank you, Ben, and we're so glad that it's happened to such a lovely guy with a lovely family. And yeah, you seem so deserving and so happy with this. It's lovely that it's happened to such a lovely person. Well done.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Quite all right. Thank you.